Morning internet. It is just a few days out from the Open and things are starting to feel a little bit real. In this video today, I'm going to do a workout to start with, and then I want to talk about aims and objectives, goals for the Opens, because I feel like I need to kind of set some realistic targets as to what I want to do, and I want to show where I've come from as well. So this is probably going to be a pretty sensible vlog, but hopefully not too boring. I don't know about anyone else at the moment, but this weather is really not summer. Although it's kind of more pleasant to train in a way, so that's kind of good. Hey mate. You're just going to wander through my background. I guess with the Opens coming up so shortly. Thanks mate. I guess with the Opens coming up so shortly, like it's almost that point to like taper off and stop training, but we're on Tuesday. I had a bit of a rubbish workout yesterday. I think like mentally I wasn't switched on, and this happens for me like when I get close to comps. I need to keep enjoying the workout, because otherwise it's just a horrible experience and I don't want to go back, and that's what happened in previous Opens. And I had a horrible workout because mentally I wasn't switched on, and then I also did like above the weight I was supposed to do, and that made it horrible, and then the result was horrible, and I just didn't really enjoy it. So hopefully today is more about just having a bit of fun, trying to chip through, and like trying to enjoy the last couple of days of kind of just normal training before we hit like that competition environment where really I just want to switch over to having fun in a comp, because otherwise I just hate training. Today's workout is 3 sets of 10-minute EMOMs, including 12 burpees every minute on the minute for 10 minutes, 4 bar muscle-ups every minute on the minute for 10 minutes, and 15 wall balls every minute on the minute for 10 minutes. Between each workout, there are 2 minutes of rest. Fun. You know, when you have a bad day, like the day before, and you're still trying to pick up mentally, that's where I'm at the moment. 10 seconds! 3, 2, 1.
So Bruce, tell me about how your workout's going, mate.
Horrible. I've already commented on this.
Oh, we've only got 150 wall balls to go. How do you feel about that?
Not happy.
Not happy, Jan.
Not happy at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, almost dropped it.
I was supposed to go like 15 on that last wall ball, but I was just worried about my shoulder. I was just worried about my shoulder with that sort of stuff, so I dropped it to 10, made sure it was unbroken, and hopefully doing something is more than doing nothing, right? Just mentally not quite there today, and it's frustrating when that happens. So I'm sure everybody's been in that position at some point. It's just frustrating when it happens a few days out from a comp. Fun times. Workout done for the day, and it's time to start talking about some goals for the Open. But
before I talk about goals, I think it's important for me to go back and look at where I was. I actually found some footage from my first CrossFit Opens. It was 2012, which was 5 years ago. I think at that point I hadn't really been doing CrossFit that long, but I'd seen a few comps and I wanted to give it a go, and I kind of jumped in. To be honest, I think I had that sort of real hope that some miracle would happen and I'd qualify and go through. And if I look back at the footage now, I'm like, what on earth was I thinking? I remember that first workout, that 7-minute AMRAP of burpees, and I started pretty well, but then it just absolutely destroyed me. I went into other workouts, but the weights at this point were just way above anything that I could lift. And to be honest, editing this particular video today, I realised that some stuff has massively improved. Like my burpee score 5 years ago, 7 minutes, I got 78 burpees. And yet today we did 120 burpee in 10 minutes. About 3 months ago, I did 100 burpees for time and clocked in at 6 minutes 52. So I've improved a lot from where I was. And that's probably not just around the numbers, that's more around the way that I feel for that movement as well.
Can I borrow a feeling?
That said, when I'm editing today's video, I'm looking at my squat standard on my wall balls and it is atrocious, and I'm really not happy with that. But it was my first year with very little experience, and I did it. I got through all 5 workouts, which is an achievement in itself. And you think I'm being sarcastic at this point, but it really is. I've done some statistics to try and do this episode, and what struck me when I went through the leaderboard, 1 is how annoying it is to use, but 2, how many people actually don't make it through all the workouts and how many people don't even start. I think when people talk to me about fitness, I kind of consider it in 2 ways. The first of which is almost like a world scale. So this is your personal fitness versus the average person in the world, and say the scale is this big, then it's a case of where would you put yourself on the scale. And when this world scale is this big and this is bad and this is good, I'd put myself towards the end. But if we take the same scale and put it in a CrossFit scale, and this is bad and this is good, I'd put myself way down here. And that's not to put myself down about the work that I've done in the gym. This is more a realistic view of my fitness. So it's been 5 years since I competed in my first CrossFit Open. This will be my 4th Open. I've competed in 2012, 13, 16, and what will be 2017. In 2012, I placed 21,000 out of 22,000 males across the globe. In 2013, I placed 44,000 out of 46,000. Those 2 years, I was very much at the bottom of the pile. You couldn't really get any lower unless you didn't turn up or you didn't do all the workouts. In 2016, I'd had a slightly better year. I finished 75,000 out of 102,000. In the region, so the Australian Pacific region, I finished nearly 5,000 out of nearly 6,500 people. And in WA, I finished 386th out of 828 competitors. So last year, I effectively finished bottom 3rd worldwide, definitely in the lower percentile Australia-wide, and in the top half for WA. If we look at the overall results across all 5 workouts last year, I pretty much start in my lowest position and generally move up with a little bit of a dip at the end. And I guess a lot of that would be attributable to people dropping off as the workouts go on. So taking those principles and kind of applying the math forward plus a bit of improvement, what I'd like to see is the following. The problem with all this math is that the leaderboard is not super accurate, so I really won't be able to tell until we finish as to how I've done. But based on the figures that are on the leaderboard at the moment, with a bit of maths and a bit of scientific research, I would like to finish 95,000 or above in the men's worldwide category, finish 6,000 or above in Australia, finish 1,000 or above in the WA men category. Now the unknown in all of this is the fact that I am a master this year and I've not competed in this category before, as have all of the people who are now in this category. There are 26,000 masters in my category worldwide, and of that there are 600 WA males. This is probably the most interesting part for me. but also the most difficult to kind of set an objective for. I think purely based on guesswork, it would be nice to finish in the top half of the men's worldwide Masters division, but I have no idea if that's achievable or not. It would also be nice to finish in the top 200 of the WA men's category. But again, I have no idea if that's achievable or not. And as I said before, all of this relies upon maths at the end of the process. Reason being, if you actually look at the scoreboard, they only score people down to those who actually finish all 5 workouts. And there are pages and pages of people who have done some of the workouts, but not all. And there are even more and more pages of people who never even started. But none of those are counted within the statistics. So at the moment you can't tell if that leaderboard is actually going to be correct by the time we finish or not. I hope that makes sense. Additionally, I want to put myself with 2 fluffy objectives. Those being that I want to have fun whilst I do this competition. I've done the Opens in the past, and 2012 was very disappointing. I got brought down to earth with a very big bump, and it was well deserved. Like, you cannot walk into a sport and suddenly be the best at it. 2013 I think was also a disappointment, and that's why I didn't even register for 2014. I'm pretty sure in 2015 I went to do the first workout before I'd registered, and I pulled a muscle or something and therefore didn't even compete that year. But 2016 was better. I've managed to get my mental game to where it needs to be, where I'm having fun, and that was certainly the case when I last competed down in Battle of the Southwest, which is what has really driven me to do this competition this year. My other fluffy objective is really not to get injured. CrossFit for me is supposed to be a daily fitness. It's supposed to keep me mentally sane when I work at home a lot of the time on my own. It's a good start to my day, and if I come home injured from that competition, then, well, it's not going to be the best result for a long-term piece of fitness. Anyway, this video is probably way too long at this point, and I should probably stop rambling. As ever, I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down in the description if you're jumping on board with the Opens this year. What are your aims and objectives for what you're doing? And I'll see you in the next one.